It felt like a blur, but it was probably the best swell I've ever seen hit the Gold Coast.
By the end of it, we were all burnt. Like it just each day just kept going and going.
It was as good as it gets, as big as it gets.
For me personally, it was the best swell I've ever surfed on the Gold Coast in my whole life.
It was pretty wild. I think everyone was mind blown with how good it actually was.
Tried to paddle like Kirra, and that was the day I got a 2-wave hold down. I remember just going, this is wild.
I don't know how with the system so close it was saying that big a period. Like at one stage it was saying 16 seconds or something at like 6 metres. I think there was reports of up to 8 or 9 metres.
I got told it was going to be way too big here.
It wasn't one of those ones where it was just a sure thing. People were ringing me. I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't want you to fly in if it's not spot on.
A lot of people I felt like were chasing their tails the whole swell and ended up not getting that good of waves.
So we're thinking to go all these Misto joints, and then we ended up driving way too north.
Right, 45 minutes of hell, boys. Let's go!
Sitting on the ski, boom, boom, for like 2 hours.
Not one of us there had done the mission before. Parked up the skis, ate every bit of food we took over, just instantly.
I see these wires coming down. I was just thinking it was like all time we got there, it was just off.
Boys got a couple, few sets, we're like, it's gonna be on.
Bit of a barrier on the first day of the swell, but it's lucky about a cyclone, you get about 6 days of it, so.
It was an
allowed
adventure,
one, yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. But we kind of got skunked in the scheme of things.
I kind of always knew that the first part of the swell was going to be the day for Noosa. There was a little bit more north in the swell, and you know, I was actually in Hawaii at the time and seeing it. Yeah, made the decision to come back, and so stoked that I did. That Thursday there was definitely a few guys out ripping. Harrison Roach is always a standout. He grew up in Noosa. I've actually known him for a while, and I saw him get a few crazy ones at the pot, and I think he had some of the standout barrels. Asher Pacey was out as well. I know he got a few really good ones. He's just comfortable in those kind of ways. I think he was doing a really good impression of the Super Bang. Crowd at Noosa is definitely pretty tricky. I mean, I grew up there, so I've kind of learned to deal with it. I think it's a little different than your average crowd. It's not really a bunch of pros. A lot of the time it's more your average surfers, guys from Brizzy that come up, guys from north that actually make the trip down. And although it might not be a bunch of pros, it's just kind of tricky because there is a lot of people, and with the current, it's pretty hard to time it on the drift through. So you kind of just have to get lucky, put in your time, and hopefully you get them on the drift through. For Noosa, you definitely want a little bit bigger swell than places like the Gold Coast. I think it's one place that actually likes the north and the swell. Find it just makes it a little bit more lined up, and then obviously that longer period is just kind of what makes it really good. we just had the perfect combination on that Thursday, and I think that's the reason why it pumped so much. That was by far the best swell I think I've ever seen, at least in my time growing up there.
It was more of a sentimental barrel, like it meant so much to me. It was cool because I got the barrel and I came out, and you can't really tell, but I do like a no claim. It's like, I feel like it's what Parko does, and I did it because I saw Parko. He was right at the end of the wave. So I came out and did a Parko claim in front of Parko, so that was pretty funny.
It's the jewel in the crown for us. It's, you know, it's our wave that when it's on, we're on to.
Kirra itself is not a nightmare. The wave, it's not a nightmare. It's one of the most amazing waves in the world. It's, I think, all the variables that surround it, you know, like obviously the people. Every time there's a Kirra swell, people come from all over the world to try and surf it, so that's probably the most frustrating thing about Kirra. But other than that, the wave itself is 10 out of 10.
Every minute that we kill it is another minute finish.
It's always the same. It's there's the guys who get their one wave and they're super psyched, and then there's the guys that are trying to get the wave of a lifetime, and they're just, you know, hot-headed and yeah, just freaking out. I think I was sort of halfway in between.
There's a select people that is okay to burn.
Like a demographic.
Kirra is just, it's Kirra. It's unbeatable when it's lined up all the way through.
Every minute that we kill it is another minute finish.
You know, you saw the waves of Jack Freestone, who was probably MVP for the swell. And Parko got a couple of sick ones on his single fin that was mental. But yeah, there was like moments here and there, but a lot of the time it was just sort of sections.
Yeah, the crowds at Kirra are super hectic. I guess the first couple of days was a manageable size, so everyone can get out. We just wanted to get away from the crowds and surf our spot, so we hit Burleigh, and yeah, it was firing. And I guess just with the swell, you know, the Cyclone just sat there and the sweep just pushed sand into place, the swell was moving sand into place, and by the third, fourth day, the sand was just perfect. It's harder to get out at Burleigh, even though we're on skis, but the boys who paddle out, you ain't got no gaps. You just got to muscle it through the Tally Creek, and hopefully you get around.
Like, I tried to paddle for a little bit after I was doing step-offs, and I got swept out to sea and the skis couldn't even see where I was. You need a ski 100%.
when you're doing step-offs, it's almost as fun as driving the jet ski, just because you kind of, it's a team effort to get the guy the wave, and then you got the front row seat of watching your buddy in a tube getting spat out. So I love it. I love doing step-offs just as much as surfing.
So I did my time out at Kirra with the pack and got very frustrated, got very few waves, snapped all my boards, and yeah, but slowly the alley started to get better and better and better, and yeah, it definitely turned on. It always does it over a swell, like the sand will build up behind the rock, and then as the swell sort of comes in, it pushes the sand like past the rock and wide, and then obviously just the way it's all shaped, it pushes it past the rock and then pushes it back in and lines it up on the perfect angle, which yeah, we definitely saw that this swell. So that Saturday Arvo, the wind dropped and it was pretty special. A nice sunset too for everyone. Not to say that Sunday wasn't pumping as well.
Everyone was just hooting. The amount of cheer hoos were going around was ridiculous, and there was about, I think we counted 26 skis in the lineup at one stage, and it was like battles, like dropping in on the jet skis. It was pretty wild. I've never seen anything like that before, but it worked, and I got some pretty crazy waves, and I'll never forget that. The local guys were killing it. They, you could see that knowledge they had, and they've done it before. That was the first time I've surfed it that big, and I was reading off what they were doing and how they were getting into them, and the driving of the ski too. Like they were killing it. It was epic to see those guys just having a ball, and it made it heaps more fun too.
Yeah, you can go back snapper, eh? No, it was good to see them all out there. Like such a good vibe in the water that like no one's like jealous of anyone getting a good one. You see like A, your mates, B, people you sort of know, and then C, people that like you don't even have a clue who they are. They get pitted off their head, you're yelling and screaming just as much as you would if it was your best friend.
I've seen Bubbler on a heater, he was killing it. He was getting the cleanest and thickest waves, and I've seen Mick get probably the biggest barrel I've ever seen on the Gold Coast. It was huge, but it just closed out, he didn't get out. He said he copped a beat in.
I feel like I've been bashed by like 20 people right now. I'm pretty sore, but yeah, it's worth it. You make that one wave, it's definitely worth the hidings.
I was just locked on Burleigh. So I was speaking to a lot of the local boys were out there, and they have skis, so they called me up Sunday morning and said we're doing Burleigh, so yeah, I was on Burleigh. It it was kind of all leading up to that wave. I feel like the whole swell, like I was just getting skunked everywhere. It just kept on giving that wave. I got spat out of the first section, and then the second one just kept foam balling me and chandeliering on me. I couldn't see anything, and then popped out, and I couldn't milk the last section, but I was just stoked to get as far as I did.
Yeah. Shout out to Toby Mossop.
Yeah,
he goes off.
Tobes is a warrior.
We watched him at Burleigh, and he was putting in the big ones for sure. Like
that wave he got was wave as well.
He hustled for that wave. Like he took down like a couple boards, couple wipeouts, few leggies. Like kept getting back out there and got that. So kudos
funny
to him.
That kid looks like a grime and so mellow, but he gets out there. He's such a beast.
Yeah.
Jack's crazy. He was onto that swell for the whole week, and like the wave that he got out there was amazing. I saw the first section where he did the big stand tall, and I was like on the ski hooting. I was frothing for him. I kept looking back and like couldn't see him in that next section, and then he popped up like way down the beach, and we were all tripping on the skis like, oh, holy shit, that's the wave of the swell.
After the swell ended, I feel like I was about to die.
I think it was the first time I've seen where Noosa, the Gold Coast, multiple waves all along the coast were really good, and I think that was pretty special. I'm guessing it's going to be a little while before we get another one like that, unfortunately, but hopefully soon.
I feel like we're not going to see that again for a long time.
All the surfers have had their fix, everyone's stoked, so yeah, definitely a good few days.
Yeah, stoked. Boys got some good barrels. I wish I got more, but you know, just me being greedy.
Did Cyclone Oma live up to the hype?
Yes.
100%.
Cyclone Oma lived up to the hype. It was an epic one.
The funniest part was the aftermath of the whole swell. It was like a come down. Everyone was just going, oh, what do we do now?
Yeah.